My name's Todd Skaggs. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how Glazer Kennedy Marketing has allowed me to become the renegade roofing distributor. So how could a redneck from Kentucky, already got 2 strikes against me, who is also an engineer with an MBA, all right, multiple strikes, you see them flashing up here, and my focus is in entrepreneurship. Dan Kennedy would be getting, he'd say, no way, it's not going to happen. Working in the sexiest industry in the United States. No, surprisingly not. I'm not a Chippendales dancer. But I sell roofing materials. It's the sexiest stuff that you've ever imagined. And I've only worked in this industry for a little less than 2 years. I have no roofing experience, zero, none. I have no resources, and I work for a big, old, slow company, a big, stupid company in a boring market, and we rely on Mother Nature and natural disasters. So how could it be any tougher than that? All right? Okay, one more thing. When I started 2 years ago, they didn't have a marketing budget. So not only do I have to overcome all these obstacles, I have to figure out where I'm going to find money from. So a little bit about me. This is my wife, and no, contrary to popular belief, I did not meet her at a family reunion. And just because I'm from Kentucky, don't go there. All right, these are my 2 sons, Deuce and Cooper. These are their older brothers who are not allowed in the house. And on the weekends, I like to put on the stripes and have a little fun. I officiate college football and high school football and basketball. So use all that stuff in my marketing, which you'll see in here in a little bit. So what I'm going to show you today only works, and you've heard this every day you've been here. It only works for rednecks. It only works if you're from Kentucky, and it only works in the roofing industry. So if you're not in any of those 3, don't pay attention, okay? This is the glitz and glamorous office of where I work, shelter distribution. You can see all polished and chrome and looking hot there. So I'm driving to work, and I've never had a job where I could use Glazer Kennedy Marketing, but I followed Dan and Bill since 2006. I'm driving to work, listening to a gold CD, and this guy's talking about this formula. And this formula was C plus A plus M equals PG. Anybody remember that gold CD? Yeah. And I thought, man, that fits the engineering side of me. I can plug stuff into a formula and make it work, right? I can do that. So I'm like, well, what is C? C is capture. How do we bring new customers into our business? Very simple. We'll talk about that. A is amplify. What do we do with them when we get them? M is maintain, creating a bond with our customers to create raving fans and lifetime customers. And if you do all 3 of those and have systems in place to support it, you can achieve perpetual growth. So remember the no money issue? The first thing I did was I killed my Yellow Pages ad. Anybody done that recently? Just killed it? $0, 1 text ad. I didn't have anybody walking through the door from Yellow Pages anyway. That generated an immediate $2,700 that I could spend on my marketing. The second thing I did was I pimped my counter. Now pay attention to this because any of you can copy this and swipe it for your business. I generated $2,800 by wrapping my front counter and selling advertising space to my vendors so that they can, and every 6 months we renew that, and in the first year, $2,800 right to the bottom line that I put right into my marketing budget, which now consists of $5,500. Where did I get that? Anybody know where I got that from? Where did I get this from? Any NASCAR fans? Right from NASCAR. Sell every space you have. All right, so capture. I can't talk about all these things that we do, but one thing I want to talk to you particularly is Glazer Kennedy has opened my eyes, and I'm always on the lookout to swipe something from somebody else. So after Christmas last year, I'm walking into Kohl's department store to take something back, and they slide this little piece of paper across the counter and said, would you like to join our email newsletter? We'll give you $10. I said, no, not really, but I'll take that piece of paper. And I walked out and went right back to the office on Monday morning and created our own. On Monday morning, we had a contest with my inside salespeople. I challenged them to come up with as many email addresses as they could. In 1 week's time, I was going to $50 gift card to whoever could. We generated in 1 week 161 email addresses at a cost of 31 cents per lead. Who can do that? Real simple. Now, everything I'm talking to you about did not exist at this company 18 months ago. They had none of this stuff. This has all been taken and implemented from scratch in the last 18 months. We flowcharted out our new customer process. It now has a 30-day autoresponder series. We take video YouTube tours of our facility if they can't come in. We introduce them to people in the business, and we send out a lump email right at the beginning with a flashlight in it that says, you've seen the light by signing up with Shelter Distribution. Now, we talked about yesterday the lost customer camp. I'm not going to talk to you. We all know what that is. But have you seen these before? Yep. Have you seen these before? All you do is send them to a graphic designer at a printer and say, make me that. I'll feed you the text. And there's not much text that's actually changed either. The copy was pretty easy to do because this man right here did it all for me. All right? Swiped all that from the outrageous advertising book. In a result, it's the first thing I tried. I was scared to death to spend money on this, but I spent $1,100. And in return, for every dollar I spent, returned $20, $22,000 of not sales, gross profit to the bottom line. Now, You can imagine what I'm doing when the sales orders start coming in. I'm like, woo-wee, let's go. Where's the next one? So this one right here came from 3D Mail Results. Keith and Travis Lee, get a shout out for those guys. The Worry Doll promotion. Now, notice the Worry Doll, it's kind of tough to see, but this guy at the bottom, his name's Jerry Medley. He's been with the company for 28 years. No one knows me. They all know Jerry. So Jerry sent the letter this time that said, we hadn't heard from you. Where are you? Come back. This particular promotion, 153 mailings, resulted in $12,000 of gross profit, right to the bottom line. Now, a couple things that you do not want to do when, we've made our share of mistakes because we are not perfect. Don't forget to scrub your list. We had postcards coming back with nice big fat first-class stamps on them. Undeliverable, undeliverable, undeliverable. Make sure you scrub your list. Make sure you pull recent information. When you do, we pulled the initial query of the database, and about a month went by before we mailed the first postcard. And in the meanwhile, people came into the store. Well, they come into the store, they spend money, and then they go home, and about 2 weeks later, they get this card that says, where are you? They're coming in, hey, bonehead, what are you doing, man? You're sending me stuff? Make sure you pull recent information, and then make sure you take off the people that actually took advantage of your offer. We didn't do that either. So we're sending them consecutive coupons in the mail, and finally that final offer, last chance, oh my God, we're not going to talk to you anymore. They've been buying stuff all along. We just weren't doing a good job on the front end. So that's the kind of stuff that we forget to do. Amplify. Get you some water. Amplify. Segment your list. Go back to the marketing triangle, message, market, media. Everybody know what that is? You got to use it. You got to talk to your customers differently. We have 3 types of customers: residential roofers, commercial roofers, and lumber yards. You can't talk to all those people at the same time. In the past, we just spray and pray, hopefully get somebody with land. These are all things we do on a weekly basis. We touch our customers at least once a week in some fashion, shape, form of fashion, some type of media. But as soon as I knew this thing was going to work, I was dying to try, technical difficulties, dying to try this, the yellow handwritten sales letter. All right, I'm dying to try the, because I got to use that somehow in my marketing. So can you guys hear me? I'm going to wing it here. 364 letters, 47 responses, 13%, which is exactly what Bill's response rate was when he talked to you about it yesterday. It's his most successful promotion we've had all year, $35,000 of gross profit, the bottom line. It is huge. I had people walking in the store and says, I don't know who Todd is, but he wrote me this letter, and I go and use these coupons, and people were talking. My competition across the street was going, what are you doing with this damn yellow sales letter? My guys are bringing it in. How did they get this yellow sales letter? They want me to match your prices. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. We have more amplifying statements. We have a royalty rewards program. We take advice to everything we see here. That creates a stickiness, a bond to our customers. And then the third step is the maintain function. Now, I want to give you a little tip. I have salesmen. I have 4 salesmen. They're tough. They're like herding cats, trying to get them all in the same direction. So I developed a tool called the 933 report. 9 existing customers, 3 zero balance customers, and 3 new customers. They have to see on a weekly basis, every single week, week in, week out, and they have to report back to me. That targets the top 20% customers in my business. The inside sales team focuses on the bottom 80. Again, systems in place to help support all this marketing that we're doing. And since they only do phone calls, the inside team has a 10-5-5. We do events. We do fun stuff. We swipe the Zen Rabbit cookie, gratitude cookie. We've had that in several different steps of our marketing campaign. Thanks, Bill. And then we have a customer newsletter. Now, remember when I said I had no experience in this industry? I'm not a roofer, although it'd be pretty cool to have a couple of roofers up here with me with white beaters on and tools, The first newsletter was called the No Name Newsletter. I challenged my customers to help me name it. So now I'm now tagged myself as the Roof Whisperer, kind of after Cesar, the dog whisperer. I'm the Roof Whisperer. And as you can tell, this is a Jim Palmer newsletter guru newsletter. I subscribe to the service. It's a fantastic service. And every month I get people calling me saying, I love the newsletter. I love the articles. I write about officiating. I write about sports, some dogs and horses, you name it. I'm becoming the guy that takes business sense to the roofers, because guess what? They're just good roofers. They are not good business people. They don't know how to market. More maintenance things we do. We do customer surveys. We're constantly talking to our customers to find out how better we can treat them. And this is a huge one right here. We didn't realize this until we did it. We took Glazer Kennedy Marketing and did it for our customers. I provided a done-for-use training seminar for one of my lumber yards. In the past, they would get 5 or 10 people. This particular seminar had 61 attendees, the most successful seminar this customer ever had, and resulted in over $150,000 of immediate sales to them, which I provided all the material for. Anybody can do that. We also do a lot of promotions where we give away stuff. We're trying to get people to buy things. And we take that information and go right around with testimonials. And the customers never know in these contests if anybody ever wins. You know, win a TV, win a this, win a that. They never see the end result. So we make sure we push that back to them through either email or through the newsletter. And we use the winnings and these guys that have actually done something and not only recognize our customers, but also prove to these people that we do follow up. We have Valentine's Day promotions. You've seen the Thanksgiving card. We have a Facebook fan page that one of the folks inside likes to do, and so she keeps that updated with training events and different types of information. And still more. We have cookouts. We go to Churchill Downs. That guy's one of our biggest roofing contractors, and it was his birthday. We took him to Churchill Downs, had a big event. This year in spring, we tried something a little outrageous. We have a big spring breakout. We're coming out of the winter season. We don't sell anything in the fall or in the winter. So we brought in a truckload, dump load of sand, spread it out all over the parking lot, and created a beach, and had a spring breakout promotion right in the front. I have customers driving up and down going, what is going on over there at Shelter Distribution? And we had a blast with it. We tried just anything we can do to keep our customers coming back to us, and they're now wondering, what in the hell is Todd going to do next? So this is a little tough to see, but bottom line, these are only 4 promotions I've talked to you about today. Over $300,000 in sales. Now, remember, I'm wondering if it's even going to work when I do this stuff. I have no idea. It's blind faith. I got $5,000 to spend. We generated $300,000 from a customer list that was basically lost or not effective. I didn't go to my top 20% and get this information. This is all realized out of thin air. Okay? Does that make sense? The last thing that I've really been struggling with continuity. I want to find a way to put continuity in our business. So I found it out. Last month, we rolled out a continuity program. We are actually selling to anybody that's interested. We're guaranteeing the first delivery spot in the morning. We send trucks out every day with roofing materials. We're now guaranteeing the first spot if you belong to our continuity income. $500 a month. We have 8 people. First of every month, we deem their account, and it's complete 100% profit, and we don't change anything in our business. So now seriously, everybody sits around and we read the newsletter and we wonder, does this stuff work? And I'm as guilty as that as possible. I sat on the sidelines for 2.5 years before I did anything. But this stuff is remarkably simple. Remarkably simple. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is believe. And I didn't believe at first. I really was a little bit of a doubter. I believed. But what you have to do is implement. All this, every one of you is a lot of hard work, right? There are no lazy people in this room. Behind every bit, you have to implement what these things say. They won't work if you don't. And you just do exactly what these guys say to do. Don't try to change stuff. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Do exactly what they say to do. But the most important thing I'll tell you that has dramatically revolutionized what we do at Shelter, and that is going from the seller of roofing materials to the marketer of a roofing supply house. Seller of roofing, which they've been for 42 years, to the marketer of their branch. And that shift in that mindset has meant everything to that business. So, one thing I want you to do is please stand up for me. Everybody stand up real quick. I've got 1 minute left. I want you to face this way. This is military. That would be a left face for you in the military. Reach out in front of you and rub the shoulders of the person in front of you. All right, give them a nice little neck rub there. There we go. All right, you get to repay the favor by turning around and going this way. That's an about face for you. I was in the Navy for 9 years. There we go. All right. Now look back at me. Folks, that's what Bill Glazer would call a shameless bribe. My name's Todd Skaggs. Thank you very much.
We can start getting, who do I want to start getting? I want to start getting Matt Buchel and Mike Sears on their way up here. And how about another great hand for these guys? Great job, great job, great job. Good.